Good evening, everyone. This is Gregor. Welcome to the stream. And today, finally, we're doing the next one in the challenge list. And I just realized, why don't I have exclamation point challenge as my command? I never thought of that. But yeah, today I'm finally moving on from Hellpoint and starting stories, The Path of Destinies. And it's like so damn hard to remember which one of those is supposed to be plural and which one isn't. But yeah, I actually got this a few years ago. It's made by Spearhead Studios of Montreal, Canada. And once again, it came up on the wrong screen, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of minimizing and maximizing to get it to where it's supposed to go. I don't know why it defaults on my second screen for whatever reason. I don't know why exactly, and I'm pretty sure there's an option to set that other than put this on like Windows on like a lower resolution and pull it from one screen to the other. I have no idea why this happens. It is very annoying and I don't particularly care much for it. But yeah, I got this like 4 years ago. I initially thought it was supposed to be some kind of board game kind of thing. Now, I'm not actually sure why I had that idea in my head. It was probably because it reminded me a bit like conceptually like the whole kind of like woodland animal thing to Root.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed.
Oh no.
Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows.
I like the narrator though, that just like goes straight through it.
He swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods.
This like went south in a hurry.
Victims
also, I like the narrator, but I feel the narration kind of like starts out of nowhere.
Villages, and no one ever returned.
And I do kind of wish there was like more nuance to it. It's like you basically press like new game and then it goes like
so they'd burnt
info dump.
The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with drop ships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion.
Wait, what kid?
And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him.
Okay. So, yeah.
The kid was looking down.
Oh, God.
Watching his city burn.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
kid. Reynardo told the kid. Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone. My mother died for this book! I promised her I'd protect you. Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him.
Okay. Protect Peter. Okay, so far it seems like one of those like kind of Bastion-ish isometric hack and slash action games. And honestly, the reason I'm like mentioning specifically Bastion is the
two
narrator.
Ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. Hey, Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. Pick on someone as ugly as you. Wait, that didn't come out right. For
God.
the Emperor! The Ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Extra attack. When an enemy is about to attack... Oh, wait. Left stick and X to counter? Wait. Oh, no. Yeah, it's the exact same thing as the what's it called? Metal Gear Rising, where you have to like attack towards the enemies as they're attacking, so that you parry them or whatever. I always had a lot of trouble with like learning that mechanic, to be honest. I don't really expect this to be any different. In my mind and in my muscle memory more importantly, the parry and dodge commands should be in like, you know, dedicated key all of its own. Hold X to grab. What? It's like everything done by like one key. Oh, that's not good. It's like I guarantee I'm gonna forget half of this by like the next level.
The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate.
How did he get to the other side of the gate?
Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels. Or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere. And neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Renato going to get a hero sword?
Oh no. Wrong sword. Okay, sure.
Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a wood. Perfect.
This is the sword crafting menu. Here you can craft and upgrade powerful magic swords. Gather the required materials from the chests scattered throughout Boreas, which I guess is the game's world. Selected sword's current power level and special power. Selected sword special power at the next level. Look badass. Ah, okay. Have enough resources, craft your first sword now.
QED.
QED. Really? I don't know. The humor in this is a bit too...
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renato's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise...
This is not the kind of humor I like. This is a bit too lowbrow.
Just the kid.
A bit kind of like too common, like lowest common denominator kind of thing. Like especially the whole QED thing reminds me a lot of Deathspunk. And that's another game that kind of went a bit too broad.
It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid. Wise-ass kid. Hey, look out behind you. Cute, said Renato. Oh, ravens.
Yeah. So far, not digging this game too much. I mean, it's okay, but...
It was time to talk some sense to the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
God. Also, this feels like an obnoxious tutorial, to be honest. Each time you gain a level, you also gain a skill point. Spend your skill points at the altar scattered throughout Boreas to gain new powerful abilities or upgrade existing ones. There are 4 tiers of skills. The more truths you discover, which I have no idea what that is, the more your tiers will unlock. Here you can find the descriptions of each skill and its unlock requirements. Use the hookshot to navigate across gaps and pull enemies. Press Y to use. You've got a skill point to earn. Oh no. Can I just like buy something else and like screw myself over? I mean, probably not.
Starting to come back to him. Something you never completely
You know
forgot.
nothing, Arctic
Like
Fox.
how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more
Really?
he'd probably remember.
Really? When did this game come out? And there's like a Game of Thrones reference. Boss can be hooked in order to cross gaps. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yay.
And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestra run in 12
Oh, come on.
Oh, she told him. And something
Stop it
told
with
him
the like the
he was
random.
about to walk into an ambush. Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book! Shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! But the kid ran for it,
And died.
and a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
Yep. Fuck that kid. Annoying characters are annoying. God. They just had to also put in like a Star Wars reference
The
in there,
book
didn't
was
they?
unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile
Honestly,
of
as far as
ashes.
annoying characters
Damn
go,
it.
this is like
Why
a
hadn't he lied
good way
and
to
told
handle
the
it.
kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Ronaldo picked
no.
up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Also, may I just say, this is just like flimsy as fuck excuse to just get the plot going. Ah. I mean, like, honestly, I wasn't expecting like grade A writing here, but oof.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out.
Maybe it's a trine in disguise.
All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loudhailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Renato yelled back.
God.
Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life! It called. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper.
Oh, and it's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing as well. You can't make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time and Reynardo needed a game changer. Even though Lapino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer, he could come up with some harebrained schemes. Maybe rescuing him was worth it. Or build the Sky Ripper. I don't know. God. I don't know. Fuck it, let's go with like friends.
Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse.
I don't know. Like, so far, not very into this.
Apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the ravens?
Gems. Gem socketing. This is gem socketing menu. Here you can equip powerful gems that will augment both your offensive and defensive capabilities. Your gauntlet has 3 sockets into which you can put gems. Select one of the sockets to see your gems. Okay. Each gem has 3 levels and its effect increases with each level. Picking up a gem you already have will automatically upgrade that gem's level. You can find gems in the chest scattered throughout Boreas. If you're lucky... Wait, it's like random? You're lucky enough. That's not fun. Current level look badass. God, Stop. Please. My poor brain.
Renato had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, I can't get off. Maybe I'm gonna have to do this area in reverse. That's why it's like showing me everything. There's like
The ravens
chests and
had
stuff.
taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's
No,
secret
wait.
rituals.
Stop.
Renato hoped the people were just hiding. Renato's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
What does that even mean? Wrong sword. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw like there's like a fire sword or something that I could craft. Well, that I couldn't yet craft, but you know, eventually. Okay, this is the hero sword one. So I guess just go for the chests until I get more ore, I guess. Also, I'm kind of thinking maybe if I had chosen the other path, the rest of the village would have been accessible. There's like another chest in there, but I can't actually find a way to get to it. You can see that at the start of the flyby when you get like over the village at the start. And I'm also kind of curious.
Just agree to disagree.
Wait, what?
Said Renato. No?
I'm also wondering if there's like multiple characters later on, because just by the game's title, it kind of feels like there might be like more than one, you know, story to this game. Hey.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast.
Okay, and we can't actually go backwards
Snack.
to level up.
Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the
Sure.
mad rabbit got to?
So there's like a thing I don't like about this. Every time you go to attack something, there's like a very brief pause in like the animation. It feels weird. That's like the best way I can put it. It kind of like feels weird. It's like your character stops and kind of like squares his shoulders just to, you know, get the pose right. Yep. Wait a minute. Haha.
Renato felt like he was ready to learn new things.
See,
Thank goodness he didn't have to go
supernatural
to school for
dash.
that.
Press left stick and A to use. A required hook shot. Wait, what? Oh, I see. So you unlock the tiers by revealing truths, whatever that is.
Starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot.
Dashing
Like
consumes
how to freeze
stamina.
time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Okay. Oh, this isn't good though. Like the camera turns around like so much. There's always enemies just out of your line of sight, and that's a bit annoying. Style acceptable. Eh. Judgy. Game is judging me. Gah. See, this is how I never got into like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry as much as I kind of wanted to. It always felt like the game's kind of judging me for not being amazing at the game yet. It's like a level up. I just realized what stories means in this, like, in the game's context. There's probably gonna be like a level select thing where you have to revisit areas to, you know, unlock things when you get new upgrades and stuff. Perfect. Hey, look at that. I, like, literally just spammed X. There you go.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Ah, the game is telling me. This is... I like this. Like, it still calls back to the other option, like the other path that I didn't
wasn't
take.
just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword School. And you're still mad for her. Reminded him. They'd been close.
Yeah,
She
the
told
writing
him
in this
things
is a
no
bit
one else knew.
on and off.
But she never told
Sword
him who she
School.
really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right.
Oh yeah, also
Said Lapino.
it might be like a good idea to bring myself over to this side because it's like portraits on the other corner. So
You know,
There we
taking
go.
her would change the
Because of
game,
that.
all right. The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war.
wait, what?
It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Controller? Oh, there we go. Yeah, my controller disconnected for just a moment. I have like no idea why.
This chest smelled kind of funky. He hoped he didn't get it in his clothes.
Gross. You know, honestly, one thing I was expecting of this game that it doesn't do, like, at all.
Hero Wall. Hero Sword. Ice Wall. Ice.
Like, there's not a lot of, like, environmental interaction. Like, I was expecting a bit more in the way of, like, physics puzzles or, you know, like, being able to destroy walls and stuff to, like, get through to secrets. That kind of thing. But there's, like, none of that. And, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if the game wants to just, like, be action, like, hack and slash, that's fine as well. But it's just weird, you know? Oh, boy. I'm just, like, gonna wait here. Do this. Haha. Psych.
Say goodnight, Gracie, said Renato, wondering who Gracie was.
I just wish they'd stop it with the pop culture references. There's like been 30 minutes into the game. Like, not even 30 minutes into the game. It's like 20 odd minutes into the game. And we've already had like a Game of Thrones reference, a like Goodnight Gracie, which I'm not sure like exactly where it's from. It's like probably like a movie reference. There's been like a Star Wars reference. There was like a what's the other one? God, trying to remember, but there's been like a lot of references that don't really fit.
What's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renato hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato. Oh, this is gonna be
Fuck it, I
fun,
just like want to see how that plays
said
out.
Lupino as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan. If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short.
Okay, you need like 30 ore anyway to get one of these. So, yeah, I can't actually do that. Oh well. Maybe it's like for some kind of New Game Plus thing, I don't know. Let's see. Perfect strike. Attack immediately when the previous attack hits, land a perfect strike. Bonus damage and double combo bonus. Okay, that sounds great. Slow down time after a successful counter until your next action. Take a breather and plan your next move. That's also sounding nice. Countering an attack now causes damage. Maximum health, run faster.
He missed his old skills.
I want to get this one for
Welcome
now.
them back like it was at a reunion.
Ah.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan.
Taking care of
Every
yourself.
step.
Wait, what?
He was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong.
Why did I get an achievement for this?
Lupino's idiotic plan worked.
Hold on. Now you're not seeing the achievement, so let me just like get up here.
Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Renato, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never return my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Lupino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter.
Oh no.
Lupino was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lapino. You have to catch her.
Wait, what?
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase. This is much easier than free climbing.
I don't know though, like the levels are kind of short. I'm not particularly annoyed about that or anything. But it does feel a bit odd. Also, I'm not actually sure if I'm like going the right way here.
Bridges anyway.
Kind of like wondering if I skipped like a chest down there or something. Yep. Okay, we don't go here anyway. I don't. Oh wait, no. I do have the sword for this. Never mind. Avoid the Warlock's fire spell. It will damage everyone in the area once it explodes. Yeah, here come the camera problems. There's like that one enemy at the bottom I couldn't see because the camera was kind of like obscuring it. So I almost got hit by it because if I were any closer, I would have. Wait, what? What the?
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. Of all the artisans he was creating employment for.
Okay, that was kind of clever. I liked that. That was funny. There was a nice little bit of like subtle humor there, like breaking the crates.
Renato reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him.
Ooh.
Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. I'm enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans, all the way back to the Farfarer. Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia.
So this Lapino guy knows that our character is kind of like into Zenobia or whatever her name is. So why would he go into like all the grisly details? Because now I'm pretty sure I'm getting the option to like spring her loose
didn't like to think
Yeah.
about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Yep. Yep. Skip the rebel base. Yep.
As they pulled away from the Nexus, Renato could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. I can't take her to those creatures at the base, he whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell her all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me. She'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will! Shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Renato was falling.
Yeah, that was clever. I also guess we're like immune to fall damage. I guess.
When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't.
Aha.
As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
Wait, is she gonna follow me? Or not?
I need more materials, thought
Ugh.
Renato.
Yeah, I do. Sadly. Like in here, I guess. I just need like one more ore, right?
What I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Renato.
I guess it's like one of the elemental swords that we need to make. Although, I'm not actually sure which one. I want to say we can make both the fire and the ice one, I guess. Could just like upgrade hero sword. I can make the fire one. While attacking, set enemy on fire.
This
Yes.
sword from the south was terrific for barbecuing sausages. and
Hold RT to
ravens.
activate magic sword. Swords consume energy while activated. Okay. I see. At least I think I see. I mean, like, probably need to like use it a little bit to get the hang of it.
Come over here.
Hey. Also, yeah, this is kind of like why I'm breaking everything. There's like a slight chance I get some more materials out of it.
If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Wow. That's some bad justification there. That's like 10-year-old tier of like playing Zelda for the first time. Like, if they didn't want their pots broken, maybe they shouldn't have made so many of them.
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check.
So okay,
else do you
hold
need
on.
in a sword?
That's like the hero sword. So where does this side go? This is I guess it's like probably one of those games that like all of the kind of like gameplay comes out of replaying replaying like levels to get like the various paths down. The good, the bad, and the grunt. No idea what that is. I'm actually like curious to see. What is that? That is get rid of 75 Raven grunts. Okay, fine.
As
Oh, come on.
Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure, that was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
Wow. So, I do assume that I can't actually go back anymore, right? Yeah. There was like a chest down there. Aww. Am I just like picking all the paths that don't have any loot? Or... Again, I probably assume like the game's kind of built around like replaying most of the levels over and over to get the different paths and stuff. There's like a lot of area down there that I'm not actually exploring, and kind of it's like I'm skipping.
Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he?
Who's Calaveras? Who? That character was never mentioned before.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he is regretting his suspicion.
Also, what bleak talk? Wait, was that supposed to happen on like a different path that I didn't take? Because we literally never had a talk about the Emperor's dark secrets or whatever.
What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods? Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lapino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless...
They're gonna
Run
kiss.
away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. What? Just like that? She demanded. I will, if you will. So, she kissed him. And it was the best kiss
That was so
ever had.
predictable.
They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer.
I can't really tell which movies the developers watched to make that, to write that dialogue.
Suddenly realizing he could
Hey Goshi, hi, how's it going? How are we doing today?
Prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away.
Yep.
Wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds.
Excuse me. Again?
Renato picked himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart.
Does it now? What game is this? This is Stories. Path of Destinies. The Path of Destinies, I think. Kind of like a small hack and slash action thing. I'm like getting like the very sneaking suspicion that this is like one of those games where like a playthrough takes an hour or so to get through, and then you have to replay it like 20 more times to get the full story. I guess like the truths revealed, or maybe like the endings or something.
He was more and more extraordinary.
Yeah. Wait, do I have like more levels? I do! Hey! That's nice. Like the art style. I mean, the art style is nice. The gameplay is not much to write home about, if I'm being honest. Like my biggest problem so far, and like if you know me, you know like what a big problem that is the story. It's like the kind of thing that they tried to like make it modular so that it has like a bunch of different kind of like outcomes and paths and stuff in it, and oh god, like most of it feels like a bit schizophrenic. Oh, freaking hell. That was bad. But yeah, like I'm pretty sure in the previous chapter, I actually got dialogue from like a different path than the one I was actually trying to like go through.
Once,
Because
issue number 1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep
Superman
breaking
issue
things until
number
he had the whole
1.
series.
Oh, and yeah, and then there's like these jokes, like stupid anachronistic meme jokes that I hate. Like there was like a joke referencing Star Wars at the first chapter. There was like one. There's like an achievement after like the Game of Thrones, like you know nothing, Jon Snow kind of thing. There's like so many like it's like a gone with the wind thing.
First.
Take the goat across first. Excuse me. But yeah, honestly, like it feels like it's bugging out. Like I'm getting dialogue for stuff that I haven't seen. Like at some point, it started referencing a character in the previous chapter that I've never met. And then the ending to the previous chapter was kind of abrupt as well. And then you just like literally dropped into this one, you know, like that. Oh. Okay, I guess you can light these. Also not a big fan of the camera, to be honest. It's like way all over the place.
Renato had learned so much about... Ooh, what was it again?
What was it again? Oh, hey, finally, health. Yay. check, please. Item used to watch a video. I mean, that's fine. No worries. Nah. What the?
They paused to catch their breath.
No! Chest!
Strange. To be
Chest!
So close to her. What are you
Stop.
thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Would they now? I mean, honestly, if this is like one of the endings, then good for them. Because like I'm kind of assuming that some like last minute shenanigans are gonna happen that like make you like go fight the Emperor again.
He'd once met a pirate captain who used foot to get around his ship. What was his name?
Also, I don't know like what these things are that like keep lighting up when I...
Lead Raven?
Style acceptable. Aww. What do I have to do to get like a good or like perfect? Wait, hold on.
Imagine if you built a house of one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
Jokes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. New enemy. Shield grunts will block your attacks. Grab and throw another grunt into him and his shield will be knocked away. Okay, so what happens if there's no grunts around to throw on the shield guys? Oh, come on. Oh, I see. Like, the game actually does give you another grunt in order to do that. Please don't. Come on.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a
Tough.
sharp pain in his stomach.
Wait, what?
He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Excuse me?
I lead the Empire to our secret base, said Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because you've still got a thing for her. Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss, was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming,
Did I get the bad ending?
Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar.
New story completed. Don't
was
think
still
twice. What kind of
He'd
hero are
fled
you? A
burning
hero who always
Ubar
follows his
years
heart.
ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind
Oh,
his
that's what
goofiness.
truths are. Okay, this is kind of interesting actually. Like, do you get like all the truths and you get the full ending or something? Story 1, Story 2, Story 3. Okay. And I again assume that all of these are gonna be like other characters. Yeah, I guess. 1 out of 4 truths unlocked. Okay,
He'd
continue.
made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same
I mean, this kind of like
mistake
reminds
twice.
me of
book's pages
like the
began
Zero
to
Escape
flip
series.
backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure
Because like
was just
in that
beginning.
game you basically go like through every
The
single
clouds
like
parted
thing
over
that
the
can get
Isles of
fucked up.
Boreas. It was time
So
to choose.
at the very
The
end you
rebellion
can
was in
have the
trouble.
knowledge to do the
Ravens were
right,
scouting for the
like the
secret
impossible
rebel base.
choice.
They needed a game changer.
That's like this is
Pieces of the
actually
Sky
interesting.
Ripper
I
had
like this.
surfaced.
Okay, like I
Also
take it back.
stubborn
Like
the
there's
mountains
like
had
this
told him.
the game is still like a lot of
Surely the
junk
weapon
in
that
it.
banished the lost gods could defeat
Um,
the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of
Oh, and now
empty
you get
desert.
like more options at
The Emperor had
in
brought
the
the
choices.
Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing.
Oh,
Of
we got
course.
the truth from that.
Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Ah. Okay, so I guess there's like multiple combinations of like all the choices. Now we get more choices. See, that's like this wasn't here in the first time.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods.
Oh.
Had he somehow summoned the long-lost components of the legendary
Oh, wait, there
weapon
was, like,
out of the
drop
deep
frames,
places
too.
of the earth? It was
Hmm.
more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Oh.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued?
Oh, and you do actually get like I assume like this
He was
dialogue doesn't
probably
happen if
drinking
this was
champagne
like my
with the
first
ravens.
option.
Did ravens drink champagne?
Because
Did rabbits?
there's like the little icon
Renato
for the
felt oddly
truth that
thirsty,
I've
come
learned.
to think of it.
So yeah, this is also kind of neat.
Chosen the
I like
Sky
this.
Ripper.
I like this a lot.
Renato never
Well
made
done,
plans
them.
that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? It was time to make a new sword.
Also, I should have picked up this path first. There's like a lot more materials in this path than in the other one. So yeah, this game is like very clearly built on replaying everything a bunch of times, right? Which is fine. Though it does do a thing that I really dislike about any game, really, not just like multiple choice games. Like if you go too far towards like a certain path, it immediately like drops a wall and like locks you out of backtracking. Which I guess wouldn't be that annoying, except that there's a lot of there seems to be a lot of chests
Crafting
in
bench.
side paths.
Renato wondered what he could make with it.
Okay, so we could make No, we can't actually make the frost one, right? But I could upgrade this one. Also allows to heal oneself. I mean, fuck it, why not? Maximum level. Yay. Also still haven't gotten any of these. That's fine. Hey, look at that. I can heal now. Woo! I mean, yeah, honestly, like, now that I kind of, like, understand what's going on, more or less, I don't hate the idea of this. It's kind of neat. Though I will say I would like if the game did explain it a bit better. You know?
Anyone ever tell you you have a lovely eye? No?
And I could really do without the puns, if possible, but... Fine. I'll take the puns too. The premise is interesting enough. And like, you know, God knows, like, I do enjoy the Zero Escape series. And, like, one of my favorite things about it is, like, the whole idea of, you know,
The people who had built this castle.
multiple timelines kind of thing.
Know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls.
The flesh is
Sky Ripper
weak.
could destroy anything
I
it
mean,
touched,
it
or
is.
so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands of thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
He'd been through wars. He'd cover wars, you know? Has anyone ever played, what's it called? Oh, hey, we can actually get the second tier now. Shield hooking. Hooking a shield wielding enemy, rip out with a shield. Yes! Immediately.
Come in handy in a pinch.
Dash through enemies. Two moves. Okay. Grab damage, impale your enemy with your sword. Health, increase maximum health. Increase maximum stamina. Attack reflexes. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with combo for now, to be honest. Like, as far as I understand it, more score, like more combo means more XP. So this kind of makes everything a bit more efficient.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah, imperfect. Damn it. So I'm just like getting achievements left and right, by the way. I have no idea what each one of them does.
They really needed to redecorate anyway.
You don't say. Boo. Jokes. Boo. I'm pretty sure I saw a oh, hey, chest. Oh, hello. The truth behind the Sky Reaper is shrouded in a thick fog. Why is like shrouded capitalized? The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used the Sky Reaper to banish Iblis. Then the Transcendent Emperor, buried the weapon and vanished. Was it self-imposed exile to rid the world of its last divine presence? Or was it the price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Sky Reaper and Iblis have deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My ritual will summon the Iblis Stone. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. Secret journal. Okay. God, I hate this. I hate that there's like so many doors I can't open at the start of the game. Well, an hour into the game. It also actually made me realize that it's gonna be kind of annoying to revisit everything. Like, do every level 5 times over to get like all the paths and all the doors and stuff. Because honestly, unless the doors themselves actually like stay open, it's gonna be very hard for me to remember which doors I've unlocked in like each playthrough.
Oh, right. No one.
Humor. So funny. Such pun, such joke. Haha. Should I go up here? No. Oh no.
Is that your shield?
Combo breaker. Hey, more achievements. Style good. Wait, I did like a 60 hit combo and my style is just good? Come on. I didn't even screw up anything this time.
Ah, a puzzle. Renato loved puzzles. Except when he couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
Please, let this not be the path forward. Seriously, please tell me I'm not locked into this path, because I really want to go back and do the puzzle. Oh, hello! You found a gem, treasure hunter level 1, and got an achievement. Gems are rare items that boost your capabilities.
That had been his mistake before, trusting his old friend Lapino, who had been through so many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What was up with that guy anyway?
Wait, why am I getting dialogue here? Like, there's like so much dialogue that doesn't seem to fit. Like I'm getting the second half of a conversation that never started to begin with, right? This is like legitimately heartbreaking though, because like if you think about it, it's just like an error, I guess. Fuck it, let's take this one as well. It's kind of like an error in like triggers. Like the developers kind of expected you to take a certain path, so you could like hit trigger after trigger to get like all the dialogue in the right order. But they never actually had like checks, I assume, implemented to check if like the previous parts of the conversation happened or not.
There it
Which
was.
is such a shame.
Skyripper's armature.
Because it's like such a
The
cool
stuff that
idea.
dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway.
Oh,
The device
yes.
was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How is it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island.
Aha.
Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Okay. For some inexplicable reason, Reynardo chose Zenobia. Fuck it, I just like want to like do one
He'd
path.
sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself. Only a series of coils.
But
and
yeah, we
wheels.
haven't sacrificed anyone. We know the
Ordinary
truth about
sacrifices.
this.
And he would make more before the end. He'd
Ah!
have to choose the greatest good,
Come
no matter
on.
how much it cost him.
Like, we know this guy's a traitor to begin with.
He would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get
Also,
the core.
that's like totally a D20.
He looked up at the old trees around him. They were so big and so old. They'd been there before he was born, and they'd be there after he'd passed into legend.
Hey,
Was he
finished the
confronting
job. Also,
his
we have
own
like a weird
unimportance?
thing following me.
What had got into him? He was no philosopher. Anyway, who cares? He was plenty important. He was a hero, and soon he'd prove it.
Ah. Okay, we like apparently this is like the path where we're like selfish or something. I don't know, maybe. So let me just like have a look around. Like this game is giving me a lot of anxiety over like, you know, well not exactly anxiety, but you know, missing out on paths and you know potential rewards, I guess.
It was always a rush.
Yeah, like, see, if I hadn't come this way, I would have missed this chest and the materials in it. So that's like another sword that I couldn't have made. Is there a map? Nope. There is not. As far as I can see, at least. There is not. Jump down. Wait, what? Down we go. Like, no idea why I'm doing this. It's like a random well that I like to jump into. For no reason at all. Okay, there's like... there's like another level down here. Because, you know, that makes sense.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Yum. Yeah, see, this is like exactly what I mean. There's like so much stuff that now if I go a bit further, it will probably just like block me from going back. Like, you know, I don't even need like a map, but it would be nice if it was, if there were like more visual cues up to like which side I should choose. At least, you know what would have been nice? If there was like a thing on the ground that showed you that if you go past this point, you can't go back.
Where did that go to?
And don't get it, you not having a map. I mean, yeah,
There were
like the
fewer and
ideal
fewer
would be having a
trees.
map. Yeah,
There were
for
only
sure.
these huge crystalline
But
growths.
like, especially if this is like an
Before.
indie game, which it is
You no longer
probably.
heard birds
Like, I don't know
except
how
for the
big
feverish cawing of the ravens
Spearhead
when they
Games is.
attacked. He couldn't smell
I
the small
think they've
animals of
only
the forest,
put out like 3
the
games in
mice
the
and
last
rabbits. Where had
9
they gone?
years.
And he was getting hungry
Um,
too. This was an unhealthy
I
place to be.
could conceivably see that there might not be, you know, like enough in the budget to kind of like implement like a full map system. But again, like I would prefer if there was at least like a an indication that, you know, if you go past this point, there is no turning back. You'll have to replay the level. Yay, style good. Imperfect. Wait, did I get hit? Or did I let my combo drop? That was the problem. But yeah, and like to the game's like benefit, I guess, the levels are very, very short. So I assume replaying them to get, you know, whatever else it is that you're gonna get isn't particularly tedious.
Made him feel physically sick.
20-sided core.
Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could,
It's like a
he wrangled
D20.
the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away.
Oh.
Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus.
No, he hadn't. We know he's a traitor.
Kino
Yeah,
wasn't
see?
such a good
See?
friend.
Now we get the acknowledgement of that.
That made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
I'm pretty sure both choices end with me dying. The Sky Reaper was complete. The super weapon could put an end to the Emperor's madness. But had Reynardo assembled it correctly? Yeah, fuck it, let's do this.
Of course. If you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they
Scientist.
disagreed and he had
Who is
time,
Calaveras? That's
he
like
could
the
ask
second
Calaveras
time this
himself.
guy's mentioned.
Yes. The observatory would be his objective.
And I've literally never met the guy. Like he got mentioned twice, and I haven't seen him even once. Like I don't know even what this guy is.
Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now? Thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had dismantled it. The mad Emperor Isengrim had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Was that why these ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction.
Yeah.
Whee!
Yeah, see that's how you undercut all your dramatic tension in your game. Go like, oh, what madness in the Emperor, and then finish that off with wee. Also, I really don't get like what it is I'm doing wrong with my style, and it only goes up to good. Shouldn't it go like up as a grade or something? Is there like something more I'm not comboing into stuff or whatever? Oh wait, I don't have that sword yet. I think you actually need like 70 ore for this. So let's see. True sword Fu attacks enemies at any distance. Grab damage. Attack reflexes. Slow down time after a successful attack until your next action. Tactical mode of combat like a true master. I like this one, to be honest.
I could do that.
Oh, come on! I got stuck. I got stuck. I was pressing A to try and like dash out of there. Seriously. Style acceptable. Ah!
A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk.
No. So drama. Such intense. Oh, no, wait. That says a lot about the game, that like the most dramatic tension I felt like during the first hour and a half was when like a crafting material fell down into the void. It's like, no! Or where are you going?
The Nexus Observatory had the Empire's most renowned scientists, working by themselves without interference. At least, so far.
Oh yeah, okay, this is like we got the treasure hunter. Said to increase chance of rare loot by 1%. Wait, what loot? Oh, you mean like when I'm breaking things open?
This
Just
sword
like
from the
craft
frigid
this.
north was really useful for making popsicles.
Freeze enemies, costs energy. Okay. Oh, damn. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's annoying. Ah, this is very annoying.
Energy spears. Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention. Boy.
Wait, what's this one? That's like a new one.
To explode if you upset them.
Watch out for explosive ravens. When hit or thrown, they will explode after a few seconds. Use them to your advantage. Yep, run away. This is fun.
Kill the rebel! Caught one, Raven. Eat the rebel! Caught another.
Wait, style great. What?
Peckish.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it because I'm supposed to just like throw enemies and I'm not doing that? Also, maybe I should be using other swords as well. You know? Yes? Maybe. Maybe like the frost sword or something, I don't know.
He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
Yeah.
Renato was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are
What's his voice?
invisible strings that tie the universe together. If Sky Ripper cut one, the whole.
I guess
would
Rob.
widen
Nah, I think you're
and
right,
widen
but
till our
like
whole existence
generally,
fell into it.
Another toad sighed.
Irving still believes in string
Oh, the
theory.
jokes on
At
this.
least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If
God.
anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Renato how to find it in the first place.
Why was this never mentioned
Maybe
before?
he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use.
But yeah, like my question wasn't so much as to like what I do with those enemies. It's more that why am I not getting
Well, he
higher
should have
than
known he'd have to
good
consult Calaveras
ratings
again.
in combat, even though I'm just
The
like doing
scientists
perfect
at the
sometimes.
observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon.
The rebels had
Every day
scheduled
they
the final
delayed risked
battle.
the exposure of the
RSVP.
secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would
Wow.
fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle.
It's like the rebel leader calling the emperor. Hello, do you have a slot free at like Tuesday,
But after a
5
few
p.m.
steps, Renato's
for the final
optimism
battle?
started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renato dare use the Sky Ripper?
More
Oh,
tests.
he
Really like
hated
the
to
art
choose
style.
his
Yeah, I mean it's
path.
kind of
It was
nice.
so much simpler.
As this whole
Rescue
kind of like
friends,
storybook
attack enemies,
thing.
Even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies, some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after.
Being a robot chicken,
Okay,
he
it
called.
wasn't all that much simpler. No. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least, he was sure of.
Physics. What physics? Like the entire thing is like freaking magic. Where do physics fit into this
Is
whole
a
thing?
Very cool sword, thought Renato. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his pole anymore.
Like I wish they would stop the puns.
No skateboarding, the sign said. Tried to focus on the now. The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from? Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? Ooh, he didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks.
God.
Yeah, Calaveras would help. He would make Renato feel better about using the Sky River. Then Renato wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
the? Why did I just pause in front of the enemy there?
Wish that somebody'd been watching.
Oh, hello. Oh, god damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have come this way. I think this is like the way I came last time as well. Damn. There's like a chest. Chest. No. Get back here. Freaking chest. Oh, there we go.
Didn't smell any better dead, Renato thought.
Because I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be one-time pickups. Like the whole game kind of feels like a one of those games. Is like there's just enough of everything to get you through to like max level. So yeah, I'd rather pick up everything I can.
Renato felt ready to become faster.
Yeah,
stronger,
style great. See,
bolder.
I started using grabs a little bit, so I think that the style refers to how many different moves you use in combat. Kind of like the combo multiplier in like the Arkham games, where like the more like moves that you kind of like chain into one another without repeating increases your like multiplier, I guess. Although in this case it's just style.
Boom.
God. Come on, some energy? No? Fine. Whatever. Yeah, see, now we're like at the same place that we were in like the last path that I did. And this is like where it mentioned calaveras back then, so like I said, I assume there's like some triggers that are common to all paths, but they didn't quite test them all out. No, there's like a door and now I have the ice sword, so I could probably open it. Maybe there's like a different path that you have to take through the level anyway.
He felt like Tarzan.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that. Seriously. Why did there have to be like a Tarzan reference in like a fantasy fairy action hack and slash game?
The rebels were counting on Renato. He hoped Calaveras knew what he was doing.
Materials? No.
It was good to practice your moves,
Come on.
thought Renato. Keeps you limber.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm practicing my moves. I'm not actually trying to get over like the horrible hit detection. Okay, so we got one skill point. Maybe more of these. Hello.
Calaveras had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
But when Renato explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Are we really making a string
The
theory
strings,
thing?
say. Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 128 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
What? No. That's so not right. Look, each time you use it... Okay, look. Just don't use it ever. At all, okay?
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Renato could see clouds darkening. Rain? No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees.
Oh
This
no.
was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe?
Yeah.
On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 6s in a row?
That's not how odds work. God damn it.
The battle was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay.
No, that's not
right?
how odds work.
He
Stop.
wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
In case it gets stolen by the enemy. Use the Sky Reaper on the Emperor. Oh, come on. And now the objective is spoiling the ending to this path.
Once you try it, you're hooked.
So yeah, I guess like the last chapter or two are like predetermined, I guess.
Smashing things was fun.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how we die this time, though. Because like, I guarantee, if this is designed how I think it's designed, it's gonna do the zero escape thing where every single ending is like one that you like get like fucked in some way or another, except the true one that you can only get at the very end after having died over and over and over and over again. Okay, so the last time I went that way, kind of like wondering, can I check? Oh, okay. Guess I shouldn't have come this way to begin with. Yay.
this is yours, said Reynardo. But he couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
Aww. That's like the expensive sword. That's the one I haven't made yet. I think it's the one that requires like 80... God, what's it called? Like ore? Okay, what do I do? Here or there? I'll go here. Nope. No. Oh, off we go. Okay, this is like the final
Definitely
bit.
better than pulling yourself up in a bucket.
Oh, come on.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
See, this is what I'm talking about. What does that have to do with anything?
Someone had
That has
told him
happened
the
in
odds
this
didn't
game.
change just because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though, and he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win, but one of them would destroy the universe. Ooh, that seemed a bit serious. Maybe
don't
he could
say.
defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Ripper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizzbin. That could work.
So I'm kind of wondering if this is this like the skyships level always the final one? Also, the controls have like a little bit of trouble recognizing which direction I'm actually trying to hit at some points. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, like I was like trying to grapple the, like hookshot the shield guy, but it kept like targeting the other one for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know what the problem was there exactly, but eh. Okay, I assume this is like the end of the level. Nope. Enchanters can buff and heal enemies. Buffed ravens are very dangerous. Paleontologist, I have no idea what that is. Game over. Or like the boss shows up. Yep.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up.
It's like a
He
small
would
Death
bluff if he
Star.
had to. Zenobia
Wait, what?
came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens. You
Whoa.
won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Oh, I know
Really?
the odds. Good. Because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. You only go up and use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention?
Thank
in
you.
class? Now
Thank
surrender,
you.
or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Sky Ripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed there was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was
Oh no!
blowing into it,
You poked a
widening
hole
it.
in the book.
It grew larger.
You jerk.
And even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Renato, and then everything fell into the hole and was gone. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it?
The Sky Rover's Guide to the
he
Galaxy.
really
Ah,
died?
come on.
It
Please,
felt
please,
so
please,
real,
please
not like a dream at
stop
all.
with the
And he
references.
lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought.
Oh.
But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
So I do
That
kind of
meant
wonder,
There must be a destiny where he survived and won, right?
like, can you just like
How do I
redo
solve
the
the
whole
point?
ending, and this time
And
you know
with
that it's
that,
unstable and you don't
Book's
use it?
pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion.
I mean,
was in
honestly, if you
trouble.
think about it, this is kind of like a
Ravens
neat
were
way
scouting for the
to
secret rebel base.
get over like budgetary
They needed a
limitations.
game-changer.
Like you
Pieces of
record
the
everything
Skyrim
once and you
surfaced.
just kind
Renato
of
knew
make
that
it
using
like
it could go
in a way that
catastrophically
like
wrong.
they kind of fit
He was
together.
sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert.
Ooh.
The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion.
Yeah,
But could
yeah, yeah.
Renato really leave
Can
an
we
old friend to the
not
Ravens?
really skip these? Because I'm gonna do the only one that I haven't done yet.
The island was windswept desert.
Oh,
No
I like
one
this
went
guy's
there
nose.
except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful.
No, I'm not
If the Emperor was searching
streaming for
it,
as long today. Like I'm
must be
gonna do like maybe
dangerous.
one more
And
pass
so, Renato went ostrich hunting.
and then go to bed because it's been like a rough day again.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Yeah, just like at this point, doing a few things to, check out like different endings.
Who leaves these chests everywhere?
Wondered Renato.
You're not kidding.
You should send him a thank you note.
I don't think I'm actually gonna go for like the entire thing on stream. If nothing else, it seems like it's like a lot of replaying the same levels over and over, and after a certain point, it just becomes a bit tedious. So, I mean, we've seen like 2 endings so far. Maybe I can just like stream until I get the 4 like truths. And then just, move on to Blood Omen, which is like honestly the Canadian game I'm most excited about playing.
Renato distrusted doors that opened automatically, especially after being buried for millennia.
Oh no.
Was this some sort of trap?
Of course it is. When was anything not a trap in this game? Ah, jeez. Let me Google Blood Omen. Gee, have you ever heard of like the Legacy of Kain series? That was like the first game in that series.
Ravens were already here.
So
Clawing in frustration.
there's like actually 2 reasons I'm
Searching for a way in.
kind of excited about it.
Then he hadn't come
One
too
is
late.
that it's been traditionally very hard to find, because the company that made it, Silicon Knights, sold, well, didn't sell the rights, like it was published by Eidos. The rights went to the publisher, so like after the first game, they never actually made another one. It's a rather like kind of like long-standing series, like 5 games in it, plus like a failed revival a few years ago. It's about vampires back at the time before vampires were actually like, the hip new thing to do. Kick and throw distance are increased. I don't know.
This was way better than being able to shrink down to the size of an ant. What was that
But
anyway?
yeah, there's like 2 reasons that I'm like excited about it. It's like, one, it's a bit more open world than old games, than the other games of the series. 2, because it's traditionally been very hard to find the PC version and play it, mainly because of copyright issues preventing it from being released on modern storefronts. GOG currently has it though, so that's the version I'm going to be playing. And 3, because I kind of like the Legacy of Kain series, and I've always wanted to play the 3rd one. So the first one, sorry. Yeah, that. Also, hi Mana. How's it going? How are we doing today? What the hell? I'm like trying to counter-attack these guys and... It's like attacking random enemies instead. Oh, come on!
Wallabies, he thought. Why did it have to be wallabies?
But yeah, it just doesn't want to like prioritize wherever like I'm trying to aim. And I think part of it might be because the camera keeps rotating. That was so annoying. But yeah, like primarily the reason it's kind of like hard to find is because of copyright issues, and it only very recently became available online. I think it came out on GOG like maybe like 6 months ago. So I've been a bit interested in playing that and streaming that. Like also, you know, game. I mean, that's like it's like old games. You're not like obliged to know of them, right? But yeah, anyway, if you've played like Soul River or Defiance, or if you've recently heard of was like Nosgoth, that one's also supposed to like take place in the same universe. Follow the instructions to the letter, always travel in pairs, don't look at engravings on the wall, don't lose the hermetic box, blah 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 blah. Talk about old games, you mean a Commodore or like... Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I never had like a Commodore 64 or anything, so I wouldn't know about that either. But yeah, Silicon Knights went on to do like one of my favorite horror games of all time, which is Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. And past that, I think they only did one more game, which was it called like Too Human? I think on the Xbox 360. And then they basically went bankrupt because they kind of like fucked around with like the Unreal Engine without a license or something like that. Or there was like some litigation with Epic Games.
There was an engraving. Maximum capacity, 130.
And they also tried kickstarting like a sequel to Eternal Darkness that never got funded, basically. As it turns out, their CEO was kind of like a scumbag as well. There were a lot of allegations against him. Let's say I don't remember reading like if any of those actually turned out to be true, but yeah, like by all accounts, he wasn't a particularly good person. Oh, hey, we got a gem, I think. Yes.
There was blood on this one, so it hadn't saved its owner.
Critical chance. Okay. Your attacks have a 10% chance to deal double damage. Can actually make the... Oh! Yes. Okay, now we have like all the swords, I guess. So now there shouldn't be any doors that we can't get through. Hopefully.
Huh? A lever? That was new.
Most people still use doorknobs.
Yeah, see now we have swords for these. However, I'm respectfully going to take a 5-minute break. And I'll be back very, very soon. So yeah, see you in 5 minutes. Okay, and I'm back. Hi. Sorry about that. Had to go get like a quick bio break. Off to bed. Okay, man. I hope you feel better and have a nice rest tonight. Okay. I do kind of assume this is like a different. Path. Okay, there we go. Of course we don't.
The mysterious sword from the east made you so fast you could catch a fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted.
Paid big bucks for this content. I mean, again, like I generally don't like to stop the stream if I can help it.
Renato had once invested in a jewel store, but it lost money because someone kept robbing it. Twist, it was him.
Oh god. Jokes. I was like bad jokes there. For shame. Also, I keep getting like achievements that I have like no idea about. I should probably have a look and see like what like all of this is. Open 10 small chests, destroy 100 inanimate objects, get rid of 75 raven guards, show 25 shield ravens are the best defense actually offense, find your first gem, blah blah blah. Discover Lapino's little secret. Yeah, I guess these are like the endings. Open your first secondary path. Let's see, like 50 raven warlocks, 25 explosive. Help 25 explosive ravens do just that. 25 predators to sleep, 50 enemies closer to you. Roundabouts are fun, but not by much. Okay. Skill points. Okay.
Hey, wanna hook up?
Oh, come on. I literally had to do that already. I don't get it. Like, sometimes the game just doesn't register which direction I'm pushing against. And that's kind of what's messing up my combat performance. Which is like very annoying because I don't really have a lot of health.
Could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Tomb Raiders, get it?
He wasn't that good. Yet.
Okay, down we go. I was like more dropped frames. What's going on?
This couldn't be good for global warming.
Seriously? I'm dead. You have died. No kidding.
It was a stone of the purest blackness.
Blue.
It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up.
Oh my.
Who said that? It was the stone.
Oh god, this is like the Eye of Sauron, isn't it? All the
That
pizza you could
seems
eat.
tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and Renato wasn't sure he really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "It's the core," said the stone anxiously.
Yeah, we're doing the core.
The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance. The stone felt a bit clingy.
Oh,
The
no.
sage Calaveras had told him where to find the Sky Ripper.
Yeah, we've heard this already.
The moment he landed the Farfarer, Renato had a rare feeling of regret. It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned. Wait a minute. He didn't want to kill Zenobia, did he? Sure, technically she was the enemy, but they'd been at Sword Food School together. They'd never been lovers.
I hate that the game keeps
they'd been
referencing sword food.
She'd told
That's
him every secret about herself. Except the biggest one.
that's not good.
That she was the Emperor's daughter. No. Kill Zenobia, whispered the stone. Before it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh, what does the fox say?
Oh, come on, no, don't make that
Another
joke.
back. I'm dying. They both laughed hysterically.
Freaking Elvis joke. It's actually not even the first time that the game has made the "what does the fox say"
Full of old
joke.
Banana peels. There had to be more.
There was.
Hey, see, great style. Finally. So yeah, I guess it turns out you just like need to use everything, like the grapple and throws. I didn't use the dash. It's like the only move I couldn't like kind of like figure out how to fit in. But yeah, I assume it's that thing I said. It's kind of like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City's kind of
There
like
was
freestyle
yeah.
thing. What was it called?
Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been
Free
fermenting for
flow
a very
combo or
long
something like where
time.
you have to fit everything in, like all the moves without doing repetitions, so that you get like the maximum score or something. Just
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
jeez, really. Come on, turn around. Turn around.
You almost never saw wild gogglers together like this. The toads had to train them not to peck each other to death. So these had to be imperial gogglers. That meant ravens were up ahead. Renato wondered if it wasn't cheaper to build bridges and stairs.
Still haven't figured out what you're meant to do when there's like two enemies charging you at the same time.
Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Oh, these jokes. I hate these jokes with a passion. Seriously. Who makes a Firefox joke in your freaking medieval themed action
The stone hadn't lied about what it
hack
could do
and
for
slash
him.
thing? I don't
With
know.
each raven he cut down, he felt a jolt of power flowing into his arm. You're weak, whispered the stone. The core will kill you. Are you afraid of it? Don't be ridiculous, it chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you if so much as carry it. And if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically. Renato did not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards.
Okay, I mean that was kind of like a funny line. Bit absurd, but kind of like in a funny way again. Oh, joy.
Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up.
Isn't that exactly what happens if I do this place like with like the different path? Like you just like literally drop down a well and find it. Ah.
Nice. That could be useful.
So I do kind of wonder how well this runs on the Steam Deck. I'm not sure if it's like a verified title.
Surprisingly unwounded.
Ooh. Did he now?
As he approached the core, the stone became hysterical. No, it's too much power. We'll rip a hole in space and time. He had a sudden vision of plunging his gauntlet into the core and dying in anguish. That wasn't his vision, was it? The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core. There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out. When Renato came to, the core was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light.
Ooh.
And it was silent. I
It
can't
shut
hear
up.
you, he sang out. And you? It didn't answer. Ha, he said. He had defeated the demonic gem with the power of his mind. He felt invincible.
Did
It
he
was
now?
time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge crystals, there was also an observatory. A wise man would probably ask the scientists exactly what he had first.
Are we wise?
How wise was he?
I mean, I'm not particularly wise, but
As the Farfarer made its way toward the Nexus, Renato watched sparks fly out of the core. The Iblis stone sucked them in hungrily. You'd think the stone would want this kind of power, wouldn't it? Thought Renato. Well, The scientists would explain it all.
Mm-hmm.
This time, Renato was sure he'd figured out how to use the core safely.
You know, even though we didn't get like the armature for it. Let's
See?
not overthink
He'd
this.
trusted his gut, and it had worked out. That's what it meant to be a hero. To ignore the naysayers and the odd makers, and do what you knew was right, and have it turn out to be the right thing. Well, he wasn't worried.
You know,
Once he
lucky
got
as
to the
fuck,
observatory,
basically.
the scientist toads could explain it. Then he could carry the war into the enemy's camp and destroy them all. Oh dear, he was getting a little bloodthirsty, wasn't he?
That's called hubris, you know? So I am kind of thinking this will not end well either. Okay, let's see. Oh, no. We go this way now. Last time I went up the stairs and it turned out to be like the...
When Renato went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
And that ended up being like the way forward. So now, what if I just go this way first? Maybe there's like a chest or something. And by the looks of it, we can always come back. Aha. See? And now we can go climb whatever. Now I've actually like looted what I was supposed to be looting before.
Renato wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
Future self. Hey, Gibbon. Hi, how's it going? How are we doing? Enjoy the sinking feeling. How was Tomb Raider? Did you finish it? Sorry, I couldn't stick around to like do the end of it, but I had to wrap this up so I could get started with Legacy of Kain on like tomorrow maybe. So close to the end. Wait, you haven't finished it yet? Oh. I thought it was the last level. Tastes like ham sandwiches. Also, wait, why isn't my health going down? Is it because of that thing that I did in this path? Huh.
This chest had teaspoons stolen from every inn in Boreas. Oh, and something more useful.
God, the
Renato
humor in
had
this is
never
kind
felt better in his life. Normally, a battle would wear him down, and he would need a night's sleep. Now he felt like he could go all night and all day. He felt like people were cheering him on, and he could practically hear their applause as he slew one raven after another.
Okay, so I'm just like letting this go to my head, aren't I? Like at the very end, like he's gonna do something incredibly dumb and screw it all up.
The Iblis Stone and the Skyripper Core. Two artifacts from the time of legends. Renato was becoming a legendary hero, wasn't he? He had enough power to save the rebellion, but he had to understand this power, so he would not misuse it.
So like, shield breaker. Your hits cause shield grunts to drop their shield and take damage. Oh, yes. Yes. This is gonna save me a lot of grief.
This would be the perfect place for a tic-tac-toe board.
So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like this like level much. Oh, come on! How did that hit me? Yeah, see, there's like sometimes that like two enemies will like attack you from opposite directions. I have like no idea how you're supposed to deal with that. Like maybe you're meant to like dash through one of them instead of, you know, actually doing anything.
That done beautifully. Where was a bard when you needed one?
I don't know. But it also does seem like the game is healing me after each fight, so I guess that's like what this path is about. Like getting like the two artifacts together. Ah.
The toads at the observatory measured the stone with their occult devices. I fed it the core of Sky Ripper, explained Renato. No more feed blood and souls.
But the core is not an unlimited energy source,
said one toad. Another said,
there's a feedback loop, you see, which could overload the stone. The stone doesn't actually feed on souls,
claimed a third.
but on pain of killing another sentient being. If you can truly be at peace with yourself, it would not overload.
Why are
This
they
is
doing
all
like a
very
Kermit the Frog
confusing.
voice?
At peace? Yes, the mountains were peaceful and quiet, but he now had the power to turn the tides. He should report to the Rebellion Council and prepare for the decisive battle.
Aha. I think I'm gonna do the first one.
The one thing he understood from all the Toad arguments, maybe the stone did not feed on blood or souls or rage. It fed on empathy. It fed on the pain he felt when he put an end to another being's existence. Even if that other being was a raven intent on
Okay,
killing
I'm
him,
not
he could
actually
find
sure that's what they were
peace.
saying, but sure.
Then he could use the power of the Ibla stone without
Kermit
being
is
taken
good
over
voice
by its
actor.
evil. The mountains.
I don't know,
You
like
go to the
the
mountains
narration in this
to
is like
find
very
peace
hit or
there.
miss for me. Some of the jokes are very forced, and there seems to be like a lot of
Unfortunately, the
pop
mountains were
culture
not
stuff
empty.
kind of like shoved
There
in
were
it.
ravens everywhere. No matter. He had
Like
to fight,
like at
yes,
some
but
point you get like
he
a
didn't
fire
have to be
sword like this
angry.
one here,
Parry,
and like
dodge, slash.
the narrator makes a joke about like the character being a fox. Oh look,
Yes,
I'm a
focus
fire
on
fox
the
now.
rhythm,
I'm
the
like,
dance of it.
no,
Not on the
that's not how
blood
jokes
or the
work.
raven's
Stop it.
claw as they died.
Stop referencing random
Ah,
things.
It was working. He wasn't feeling those dark jolts of eldritch energy. He wasn't feeding the Iblis stone. Smells burnt fur. Is.
Like, okay, there's like some narration that's decent in this, but it feels like they're constantly kind of like trying to get jokes in there when they shouldn't. There's like the very
There was an inscription.
first 10 minutes.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun again. See, this is what I mean. Like, randomly referencing stuff does not a joke make. Seriously. It's not funny if you just like pop a random praise the sun sentence in there. It's not funny if you say that your skyship can do the Kessler run in 12 furlongs.
Could use the hook on. They really needed to construct additional pylons.
They don't need to do a StarCraft reference for the freaking pylons. This is like constantly, it's like non-stop anything references. Like they don't even fit with, you know, the game. That's like literally the only thing I'm like legitimately annoyed about this game with. This is like the type of game like a...
My order,
God.
Bernardo.
I was gonna say like a 12-year-old might enjoy, but let's be honest, like today a 12-year-old wouldn't know what StarCraft is. Like he wouldn't know like what the construct additional pylons joke is like. Even if it's like in StarCraft 2 as well. Because that wasn't like quite as popular as the first one, I think. Or at least it didn't remain into like the cultural hive mind for as much. Oh my god, why is like everyone so aggressive now? Yeah, they don't need to, but they will.
Was still silent. His mind was his own, and his heart too. He bore them no ill will, these ravens. They were doing their job. They were expressing their nature. Dance, whirl, parry, jab, and breathe. It was all so simple, wasn't it? But something was missing. He didn't feel truly at peace. Wait. Wasn't this near where Calaveras lived? The sage would help him figure it all out.
Oh, wait, there was like that, the void door. God damn it, I missed that.
Say, how are you guys fixed on life insurance?
Boom to your doom, more achievements. Hey. And honestly, like again, like a 12-year-old probably wouldn't get the Kessler Run joke from like Star Wars. I don't know, like what other jokes were there like kind of like annoyed me? Like the whole Firefox thing also is a bit of a pain.
That is how we do it, said Renato to himself.
I don't actually think I came through here before. Oh no, wait, I did. So... Oh. Yeah, you know, maybe they should have had maps. But yeah, like at this point,
Renato thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
joke. Like at this point, like I should probably be on the lookout for any door that opens with one of the elemental swords. So like any door that doesn't require the hero sword to open, like, but anything else.
It was a bit windy up here.
You don't say. It's like literally scaling a mountain. Come on. What did you expect it to be? It's kind of neat though. Like, I like the level design because you can actually see like parts of the level. Oh, please tell me I can go back there. Can I? Yes. There we go.
What's there?
But yeah, you can actually see parts of the level in the background. Like, there's like a door at the start of the level that I hadn't gone to. And I think this is where this is taking me. It's kind of neat. Like, it's not, like, not all levels are kind of like this oblong, kind of like corridor-ish encounter after encounter thing that, like most hack and slash games do. There's like a lot of...
It was definitely easier to fight inanimate objects.
Oh dear. There's like a lot of nuance here.
Yelling,
Oh yeah, that's how we do it.
it was something he liked to do, but only after he'd killed all the witnesses.
Hilarious. Oh! Well, this is actually much better. There's like 2 chests. Quite better. Energy on kill. Okay, this is an upgrade for sure. There we go. Because I've gotten like all the basic gems.
The Iblis Stone, silenced by the Skyripper's core, had given Renato enough power to challenge the Imperial fleet. But what Renato was seeking was inner peace. The rebellion was on the verge of extinction. It would have to wait.
Yeah, here is kind of the problem with the game.
His mother never let him wave his sword around at home.
I
Guessed he was still
like the whole idea of having to redo things in order to get knowledge for figuring things out, both like as a mechanic and like a, you know, like the more like physical aspect, I guess. Increases sword energy. Combat time. Storm recovery. Kill an enemy in a single strike auto activates when reaching a certain combo threshold. Oh! Is that so? Well then. That's like the next one I'm getting then. But the problem is that at the end of the day, since this is kind of like a more combat-oriented game rather than, you know, Zero Escape, which is purely narrative, so you've got like a lot more leeway in a Zero Escape game to kind of have variants based on like what you've done before, and like events can play out slightly different. In this, you still end up playing the same levels over and over again. That's kind of like the problem. Like you still get to do like the same encounters, maybe slightly harder ones, but
At the end of the mountain path,
This needed like
he
a
found
few more
the
paths
wise
between
Calaveras
levels, to
in
be
his
honest.
workshop. Do you fix souls or only artifacts? He asked the sage.
Oh
Does
my.
your soul need fixing?
Asked the sage. I've been killing a lot of ravens lately, he told the sage.
You're a fox,
Said Calaveras.
and to kill birds is part of your nature. Take joy in it. I mean, I might as well worry about eating flies. Would you like a fly?
It was true. That's what he had forgotten. The joy. Now he was ready for the final battle. The
That was
far
easy.
air cut through the clouds. The air had never felt so sweet since he was a child. There it was. The dreaded Imperial fleet. He could smell wet hemp ropes ahead, wood and tar, and ravens. Even the fleet smelled good, somehow. He was ready. He was ready.
Okay. Ready to rumble.
Renato had it all squared away in his head. He would kill the Emperor. Isengrim III had begun well, but he had gone mad. He was trying to invoke the lost gods by means of dark, blasphemous rituals. That was a secret. But the victims had spoken to Renato.
Masamune is for melancholic bad guys. Come on. The jokes.
No
Stop.
anger. Renato could not afford anger. It was empowering the crystal in his sword. That made him stronger, but it clouded his mind. He would not be a hero. A hero strives. Renato would just be one with everything. The Emperor would die, and the wheel would turn, and all would be restored without rancor, without sorrow, without pain.
That doesn't sound like something that is gonna happen here, but sure. Whatever you say.
Maybe I should follow my nose, thought Renato.
There's like a lot of different endings though, so I'm kind of like worried if you have to like do every single permutation of like every path in order to get everything like unlocked. Which again sounds very tedious. Like it seems like a neat idea until you realize there's only like 5 or 6 levels that you endlessly play through.
Renato wondered idly if people who had built these poles had really, really long tentacles. But the more he thought about it, and he had so much more time to think about it now that he was not worrying about the battle, killing the Emperor would not change anything. Another would take his place. Perhaps Zenobia. Perhaps the Speaker of the Rebel Council, and power would corrupt them too, and death would make grief, and grief would lead to hatred. He must lead by example. Reject the violence. Reject the desire to create violence. But how?
Wait, this is like the pacifist ending? Or maybe I don't actually know how to like solve this.
No one could beat Renato at hot potato.
Yeah, okay. Fights are definitely getting slightly harder the more truths you unlock and like the more times you replay this. Which is interesting.
No! The live ones, I mean.
There should be like one more ship, right? Maybe this time I get to go across instead of through the... Yep, there we go. This time you actually get to go on the king's ship or whatever it is. Also kind of wonder, there's like a boss fight here, right? What the? It's like a Doom Fortress or something. Also, wait, why didn't I get XP and stuff from this fight? Aw. It was actually the one fight I think I did like fairly well.
Finally, he came to the Emperor's ship.
Kurama in a shiny star.
path
Oh,
behind
come
him
on!
was strewn with
Even like a
dead ravens.
Naruto reference.
Path to enlightenment.
I don't.
His mistake, he realized, was trying to change the world. The world would spin and the wheel would revolve whether he strove against it or not. What he had to do was nothing. He had
And then he died.
enlightenment.
And then I die.
He sat down, adopted a full lotus position, and began to meditate.
And
And
then I
all
died.
around him, the warriors stopped fighting too. They knew. They could feel his enlightenment. They gave up fighting,
What?
dropped their weapons, and became his disciples.
Yep.
No, just kidding. The nearest raven stabbed him with a sword and then chopped off his head. I might not have thought this through properly. Thought Renado's head as it rolled around the deck and died. And just like that, he was alive again. And back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So
New story complete, return of the hippie.
was a portal. It took you to the future when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, but he'd learned another true thing. The Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it.
Okay, so I assume like each one of these, right? Each row is tied to like a different path. Like this is the path where you go save Lapino at the start. I assume this is the path where you don't save Lapino, but you actually go find what's your name after the first level. This is the path where you get the Iblis Stone, and this is the path where you make the Sky Reaper. And like all of these are like endings that you get by branching
But
off
he
from
was
like
starting to
specific
feel
places.
Like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory. He could feel it. He just had to keep running the path of destinies. With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning,
Yeah.
and he fell into it.
Again, this
The
is like
clouds
it's like
parted
very
over the
similar
Isles of
to like the
Boreas.
Zero Escape games in some
It was time
regards.
to choose. The rebellion
Um,
was in trouble.
and I'm like
Ravens were scouting
moderately
for the
interested
secret
in this,
rebel
but I
base.
might not stream this
They needed a
again.
game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renata knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
So I think the way you do this is you go through the Sky Reaper path, so you don't actually talk to Lapino, and then you move on to, like, what's her name? I forget what it's called, but you know, here, which is like the last piece of like the truth. So yeah, that's kind of it actually. I think I'm done for the day though. Also, I did drop a few more frames for whatever reason. No idea why though. But yeah, I think this is it for today. Like, I don't actually know if I'm gonna keep playing this on stream. Interesting though it is, it's just a bit too repetitive for more playthroughs. Like, I don't know, maybe I can do just like one more stream to get like the true ending, and then kind of just, you know, stop there. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. There's like a few annoying things about it, but the whole idea about, you know, branching pathways is interesting. But yeah, I wouldn't want to just like stream it until I get like all the paths. Like maybe do like all the truths and then see if that unlocks like a true ending or something. And yeah, I don't know. I think that should be it, right? I'm kind of curious to see like how long this takes to actually get like through everything. So okay. So there's like a small chance I might stream tomorrow morning. I'm not actually sure yet because I may have to go into work. I may not. We will see how it goes. I do hope I don't have to, because I could really use the rest. But if I don't, I'm gonna put a notification on Discord. You can actually go and enable the going live role to get that notification. If I don't end up streaming tomorrow morning, I'll see you all on Thursday with probably a bit more of this, because I am interested in seeing like the full story, kind of like unwind. But yeah, until then, do we have any people in chat? Maybe I should see if like someone's online to go raid them. No, Millie Mage is live. Hey, let's go say hi to Millie Mage. Thanks for the stream and company. No. Thank you for the company. Honestly, that's like 99% of why I do what I do. So, yeah, thank you. And let's go say hi to Millie Mage. Until then, either tomorrow morning or like Thursday afternoon. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and I'll see you around soon. Bye-bye.